Hello, everybody. Okay, welcome back. This video is going to be a bit different. Okay, a few videos ago, I questioned whether or not I should expose more of the dark side of the INFJ, or if I should expose even more of the light side of the INFJ. And, well, I thought about it a little bit, and I thought, why not expose both? But I'm doing it in a different way than you may expect. I'm just gonna talk candidly to you guys. I'm just gonna freewheel it, go rogue, and, well, just spill out bits and pieces from my mind, okay? What do you think? Okay. Now, let me say this much. You know, I always talk about the INFJ paradoxes. This is, in a way, maybe one of the biggest paradoxes that I've ever noticed within myself. And that is that I have seen the darkest dark, and I've also seen the lightest light. Okay, let me say this first. I know this is going to sound quite unrelated, but I don't know how many of you have heard this or remember it, but anyways, I'm a Scorpio, okay? I know what you're thinking. Jess, what the hell are you bringing that stuff into it for? But listen, just get used to it, because this video is gonna be a lot of just my take on things. Yeah, how I feel about certain things. Anyways, okay, back up. So yes, I'm a Scorpio. And let me say this. Let me school you a little bit on Scorpios, okay? We're not afraid of the dark. No. Scorpios actually love the dark. Yeah, we're comfy there. And we kind of go there and just hide out, kind of like a man cave, you know? And yeah, we're not scared of it. But let me say this much, okay? For all the ways that I can be cozy there, that's not really where I sit. I kind of just go to the dark just to visit, you know, once in a blue moon. But where I actually sit is in the light. Now here we go. Buckle up. So, I know some of you may be thinking, Chess, we know you like to be light. We hear you laugh. We hear you joke. Blah, blah, blah. No, my friends. No. Because there's light and then there's light. Right? And what you may not know about me is that I may seem easygoing and all that kind of jazz, but it gets lighter than that for me. So let me just jump on into this and let me explain myself, okay? And who knows, maybe for some reason, someone out there can relate to these things. And I don't know, I'm following my gut here, actually, okay? Because for some reason, over and over again, I've been called to do this video. I've literally sat down to talk about this several times now, and I keep second guessing myself and not doing it, but I finally figured, you know what, enough is enough. I'm just gonna do it because it won't leave my mind. Okay, so like and subscribe. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna start with the heavy stuff. Okay, yes, warning, this is gonna get heavy and it's gonna get dark. So if you feel like you can't handle that, you may want to peace out right now, okay? Okay. Let me tell you guys a little bit about an experience that I've had, okay? Okay. It was the darkest time of my life. Yes. Many years ago, maybe let's say 10 years ago now. I mean, time flies, really. I was really going through it, okay? It was one thing after another. And there was just so much. Oh my gosh, there was just so much. And okay, I'm just going to say this. I reached a point that I didn't really care if I woke up the next day. Yes. I was broken, that's the best way to put it. And I wasn't necessarily at the point that I was going to take matters into my own hands. I mean, truthfully, I don't know if I have the guts for it, but I definitely walked pretty close to the edge, of where that maybe could become something in my mind. Yeah, it got pretty, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And I sat in that for quite some time. Yeah. And you know what, actually? Okay, let me explain what happens in the mind, for someone who is in that state, right? So when you're sitting in that kind of state of mind, you make a list, okay? Like a mental checklist. You think of all the reasons that you got to be here, okay? Because you think to yourself, I don't want to be here. And I mean, I don't think I even need to be here anymore. But anyways, you make the list, okay? And so there's several things there. And of course, one by one, things just fall off the list, right? So the easiest one to go, okay, think your job, okay, that's easy. You get rid of that off the list, no problem. So that's gone, great. And then you're on to the next level, right? And let's say you're at friends, you can think to yourself, oh, shit, but if I'm not here for my best friend or this certain group of friends, they're just going to be falling apart. And imagine the trauma of having to, go to my funeral and see what I did to myself. And I should just stay here, But then give it a little time and that kind of melts away, and you think to yourself, actually, I think they'd be okay without me here. I mean, life goes on and they can make another friend, I'm not really necessary. So, bam, they're off the list, And then you're on to the next layer. So then I was at my family, and I cycled through different members of my family, and one by one, they melted off the list. One by one, I would realize that they would be okay without me. I didn't have to stay here for them. And you know what kept me here? Like, do you know what I couldn't get off the list? You may be surprised. The one thing I couldn't melt off my list was my dog. Yeah, my little furry dude. Oh, that little guy. Yeah, I couldn't get him off the list. I just knew that no one was going to take care of him the way I did. I mean, that little guy is like my shadow, I'm his whole world. I do everything for him. And I knew no one was going to do it like I did it, And I guess for me, animals are just so innocent, They really don't deserve that kind of crap. I mean, kids too, right? Yeah, they definitely don't deserve that either. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it for him, But, okay, he wasn't the only reason that I stayed here, though, okay? Because one fine day, I was sitting home alone, and out of nowhere, a thought came into my mind, clear as day. I don't even know where it came from. And the thought was, God doesn't need my help. Like, if he didn't want me here, he could just take me out all on his own, He doesn't need my help doing it, right? And so if that was the case, then I'm here for something. Like, I'm being kept here for a reason. And yes, that's actually how I felt. Didn't feel like I was being saved. I felt like I was being kept here. There's a distinction there, right? It's almost like against my own will, you know? But for some reason, that thought, it was like it flipped a switch for me. And everything all of a sudden looked different to me in my mind. It was quite miraculous, actually. Like, my thoughts would go and I would connect it and I would think, okay, so if I'm here for a reason, then what am I supposed to learn from this lesson? Like, what am I supposed to learn from this experience? You know, okay, number one, I will say this. I believe in everything for a reason, right? And I often think that all the BS I've been through in my life, one of the main benefits of it is that I'm able to understand other people and I'm able to relate to them. And I kind of wondered through different points in my life since then if the whole reason why I experienced that was simply so that I could reach other people who are experiencing it, which now that I think about it, maybe that's why I'm so called to make this video, you know, because maybe someone out there is experiencing this and maybe something I'm saying is going to hit and like flip the switch for them too, you know? But aside from that, I realized that there was another lesson for me to discover, and that was the lesson of surrendering. Yes. I realized that I had to surrender to everything that was happening in my life. And up until that point, I wasn't really able to do that. I mean, I wasn't a control freak per se, but I mean, I did have to have control. But I mean, listen, I mean, how could you blame me, right? Like, given my history, I kind of had to have control. I mean, I had to build my own life and, you know, make my own framework for it. You know, I was kind of like, almost like an orphan kid out there, you know, doing whatever the hell I wanted. And I had to control something, right? But yeah, I had to learn to just, whatever was going to be, was going to be. And that's it. I had no control over it. Whatever was happening in my life, I had to just go with the flow and let go. And that was really hard for me. I mean, okay, hold on. I mean, having said that, yes, I had control in the sense that I could make my life better. But the things that were shitty or the things that I couldn't change no matter what I wanted to do, I realized that they were just experiences that I was meant to have and just things I was supposed to learn from, but I wasn't supposed to grip onto them, you know? I was just supposed to learn and experience and then let them go, right? Okay, so yes, that ended up being a pretty big life lesson for me. And it actually stuck with me, you know, throughout my life. And then every once in a while, it's funny how, you know, people are who they are, right? You kind of just slip back into the way you were. But every once in a while, it'll hit me again that I have to just surrender to things. And it's easier for me to do it now because, you know, once I remind myself, okay, it clicks in and I can follow that, right? So yes, it does still stick with me. And you know what, guys? Okay, so this kind of brings me a little more towards the light because I also had the thought back then that, it was as though, okay. Okay, after that experience, other experiences followed, right? And not like dark experiences, really. Actually, pretty light experiences even. But I kind of realized that I feel like I'm protected, actually, because all the way since childhood, actually. I've questioned, how the hell did I make it this far, right? Against all odds. And if you've listened to my evolution video, you'll have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. But anyways, but also there's just been moments in my life. Okay, hold on. The first thing is, I could say who put that thought into my head that day, right? I know, it's getting hooshy bougie. But I could say that, couldn't I? But aside from that, there's been even other moments of like health issues. Okay, for example, did you guys know I've cheated death? Yes, a couple times. Like one time on the edge, touch and go, being ran into surgery, is she gonna make it? Yeah, it was wild. And let me tell you something, actually. This is a side note, but when you're really close to death, it actually gets really peaceful. It does. But hold on. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't want to entice anybody. But anyways, that's besides the point. But also, well, there's another reason why I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, right? Because I've had those moments where I'm sitting with a doctor, right, or a specialist, and they're looking at results or images, and they're like, huh, look at that. I guess it's a good thing you came to see me when you did, huh? It's good we caught that when we did, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like wild stuff. And it kind of really taught me that you just never freaking know. And don't take anything for granted. Don't take your health for granted because shit just comes out of nowhere. So anyways, yes, but the point is during those moments, what made me go to the doctor and check something out that really I probably could have let slide? Or what saved me, what saved my life in that touch and go moment? I've had those moments where, I don't know, kind of dawned on me that maybe I was protected. And then go beyond that. Okay, can we get even more hooshy bougie with it? Okay, so ever since I was a little girl, I've experienced paranormal things, okay? My earliest memory is when I was, I think, around 5 years old. That was probably the first concrete experience I had. And let me tell you guys, it was bloody frightening. I actually, when I retell the story, something stirs up inside of me. It was just so guttural, and I'm not going to tell the story because it's kind of really personal to me, actually, believe it or not. But what I will say is it wasn't a nice spirit. Actually, I'm pretty convinced it was downright evil. Yeah. And when I think back, honestly, I think I was protected during that time. It's not going to make sense because I'm not telling you the story, but you just got to trust me on this, okay? So, and then ever since then, I've had other little moments, again, paranormal moments, and somehow, they always end up not going too negative, is my point. So I wonder if I'm protected there too, by someone else. But do you guys, okay, can I get even more hooshy bougie on you? Okay. Can I just get into it? Who cares, right? So speaking of spirits and stuff, okay. About a year ago, I was having a lot happening in my house. One thing after another. Oh my gosh, so many moments of paranormal activity, right? And it reached a fever pitch. I couldn't ignore it, okay? And eventually I reached the point that it was tripping me out because I was thinking, what the hell? Why isn't this leaving me alone? And what am I, like, is someone trying to give me a message? You know, is someone trying to warn me about something? Like, I had to know. So I went to a medium. Yes, a psychic medium. I was desperate, people, because I started, I don't know, it just wouldn't stop. So anyways, yes, I went to a medium. I didn't go to just anybody. I took my time and I found someone that was like recommended, you know? But at the same time, this girl I went to, she had no clue about me. Like, she didn't know anything about me, right? Because if I was going to do it, I was going to do it right, right? Okay. So, yes. So I sit down with her and it was really quite the experience. So 3 main people came through. I mean, there was a couple little side blips, you know, but yes, there was 3 mains, right? And guys, this is where it's interesting. So one of the people was a great aunt of mine. And honestly, actually, I didn't even know of her existence. Like, okay, you got to understand the way I grew up, like, there's a lot of my family I don't even know. And so yes, I didn't know of her existence even. And so at the time of the reading, I was like, who is this person? But then I had to confirm afterwards with my mother, like after the fact, and I figured out, you know, I figured things out. But anyways, but yes, the point is she came through, and I tell you what, she was just saying things that, how did she know this? Well, I don't think she could have. I mean, you know, again, the girl I was seeing knows nothing about me, and she's just telling me about myself, you know, and about how I grew up and, you know, things that happened. And I was like, what the hell? And it kind of made me realize that, holy shit, like, I'm actually not alone here. Like, think about this. I don't know this person, right? I didn't even know who she was, but she knew me. Right? Right? Do you just get it? How wild is that? And then another person that came through, I knew of his existence. Actually, I was low-key wondering if he was going to come through, and he did. And you know what his message was to me, guys? Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. First of all, he told me about me too, you know? But more about like who I am right now. Like, he started spieling off things like, she likes to cook, she does this, she does that, she does this, you know, and just all these little things about me. And his main message to me was, don't waste your time. Live your life. Don't waste your time. And he kept saying it over and over and over again. Even the medium was like, I don't know what he means by this, but he keeps saying it. He just keeps telling me to tell you, don't waste your time and to live. And then you know me, right? Okay, you know chess by now, right? So you know what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking, oh my God, why is he telling me this? Do I not have much longer here? Is something going to happen to me? You know, because the hypochondriac, right? Like, oh no, this is a warning. So, but the funny thing is, I didn't say that out loud, right? But then the medium says, and he wants you to know that you're going to live a long life. You're going to be here until you're very old, right? Isn't that crazy? And then I said to her, I was like, okay, but am I going to be healthy? Oh God, I'm so mental. Yes. Because you know what? The way I see it is, I don't want to be here until I'm like 100 and I'm not healthy. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, am I going to be healthy though? And she's like, yes, you're going to be healthy. So, God, I'm so crazy. Anyways, but what a trip. But again, it just proved to me like, holy shit, like, he knows, like, how is he here? Like, these people are here with me, Even when I'm alone, I'm not really alone, right? And you gotta wonder, I mean, are any of us really alone? Like, I don't know. It's a trip, right? But going back to the whole dark and the light thing, there's a whole nother area of this, right? There's the area of feeling dark and light energy, right? You know, feeling lightness off of somebody or darkness off of somebody. And, well, there's kind of a power that comes with that, isn't there, right? It kind of helps guide you. And I've kind of discovered, how do I say this? These days, guys, it's kind of trippy for me because I can feel energy a lot more. Yes. Nowadays, I'll even feel I don't know how to explain it. It's like energy coursing through me. Okay. I got a perfect example of this. A couple weeks ago, you guys remember I made that video about the therapist? Yes, the therapist video, right? And I went to my friend's house, right? Remember? And it was me and another friend and her boyfriend. I remember I broke down anyways. And on my way to her house that night, I was driving. And as I was driving to her place, I don't know what it was. I was feeling like an angst, like an anxiousness. Something didn't feel right in me, right? And to be honest with you, basically, as I got closer and closer to her house, the thought came to my mind of like, what am I stepping into? I don't know what it was. I just felt like something was up. I can't explain it better than that. So I get to her house, right? And out front, there's an ambulance. So I'm like, holy shit, here we go. Is that what I was feeling? But then, no, wait. So I get to her door and I'm like, oh my God, ambulance, what's up? She's like, no, it's for the neighbor. I'm good. And isn't this interesting? So in that moment, I second guessed myself, right? And I was like, okay. So picture it. It's her and her boyfriend. They're standing in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess it was just all in my head. I said, because, I was driving here and it's the weirdest thing. I was just feeling anxious and I don't know. I just wasn't feeling right. And my energy was off and whatever. And they look at each other and they're like, that's so weird. And he goes, yeah, that's so weird because he's putting my friend, has been kind of off all day, and she's been not feeling herself. And she's like, yeah, I just don't feel well. Maybe it's the sickness I have. I don't know, but I've been feeling faint even. And she goes, I just don't feel right. And da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh my God. Was I feeling her? How to know, right? Damn. I can never prove it, right? But now, slowly but surely, I'm having these experiences. Like, I've spoken about it before in another video. I mean, who knows if you heard it, but even if I'm out with people and they're drinking, but I haven't drank anything, I'll literally start to feel like I drank. Yeah, because I'm kind of a happy drunk, ha ha ha, good times all around. And I'll be hanging out with them. I'll be cracking up with them. And they'll even look at me and go, did you drink something? I didn't see you drink anything. How are you acting like this with me? And it hits me. I'm like, I don't know. But I literally feel like I drank. It's like I'm taking their energy and it's wild. So I don't know what the hell is happening to me. But yes, over the past, let's say 2 years or so, it's getting stronger and stronger and God knows where it ends. Like it freaks me out. But there is definitely benefits to that, I realized, because again, you can feel if, maybe you shouldn't be somewhere. Maybe you shouldn't hang out with somebody. They're not good for you and la-di-da-di-da, right? Look at me just rambling on. It's just flowing out of me. I guess that's my sign that I was supposed to talk about these things, right? I don't know. I mean, this isn't even an INFJ video. Am I right? It's like just thoughts of an INFJ video. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm just trusting my gut because I kept getting this feeling that I was supposed to talk about this. What does it mean? But you know what the biggest thing I want to touch on, guys? Okay, I'm going to make this quick because I know this video is getting so long. But the beauty of darkness is you can transmute it, you know? You can be in the darkest dark and you can take the power from it. Yeah. And you can transmute it. You could take that energy and use it for good. You can use it to achieve things, to create things for yourself, you know? And if you really think about it like that, then is there any such thing as darkness? You know what I mean? Because once you extract the power from it and you create something with it, then it's not really dark anymore, is it? Makes you wonder, right? Yeah. I don't know why. I feel so pumped up right now. When I first started this video, I didn't really have a lot of energy in me. And now as I'm talking about these things, I feel like I can just go work out or something. I don't know. I feel like I have all this energy in me. It's so bizarre. Okay, so I'm not going to question myself. I'm just going to put this video up for you guys. That's it. I don't know. Hopefully you like it, but if you don't, I mean, I'm just going to trust that it's going to reach whoever it has to reach. And that's that. So, okay. There you go. Rant over. And I will see you guys in the next video. Okay? Take it easy. Be good out there. Adios, amigos.